So hi. Uh, so today's session will discuss retrofit concept. Will discuss. So what exactly is retrofit? Okay. Retrofit calls if you want to make. If you want to make any network calls, and the initial classes we discussed in our advanced Android initial classes we discussed, there are two types of web services are there in the market. What are the two types of web service? One is the SOAP-based web services, and second thing is what? RESTful web service. One is the SOAP-based web service, and second thing is what? RESTful web service. Now in the present market, 99% of the applications are developing by using this RESTful service only. Meaning hit the server and get the response on the server and present the data to the user. Hit the server, get the response and present that response to the user. Basically that response you will get either in XML format or in a JSON format you will get, and we already discussed that XML and JSON concept we discussed, and even we compared what's the difference between XML and JSON. Okay, especially in case of RESTful service, majority of the people are prefer to get the response in a JSON file, and we are having some JSON converters like JSON, JAXN, Jettison. The previous class also we discussed this JSON concept we discussed for converting your object to JSON and JSON to object. Okay, so this retrofit API is especially used for making a network calls. So if you want to make a network calls, if you want to make earlier, we seen the asynchronous task concept we seen. By using this asynchronous task also, we can hit any URL we can hit and we can get the response we can get from the server we can get. Okay. But there are few drawbacks are there in the asynchronous task. So let's see what is the drawbacks and why the people are prefer to go for this retrofit. So here there is a small blog is there. They are comparing the Android asynchronous task Wally versus retrofit. Okay, the old way of what asynchronous task is the old approach. As of the latest version, with a built-in asynchronous task to retrieve the data from the servers. To retrieve the data from the servers, we use what asynchronous task we use. So there are some issues with this asynchronous task. One is no orientation change, no orientation change support, no ability to cancel a network calls, as well as no easy way to make a API calls in parallel. So like there are some few drawbacks are there in this asynchronous task concept. That's why then later Google is introduced this Wally API. Then Wally API is introduced. When this Wally is also having some few drawbacks. So now final one is what retrofit. Okay. So retrofit is from there is a third party company called Square. The Square is created a framework called retrofit. So just I'll show you a short description. If you see these numbers, you'll understand what exactly this difference between the retrofit, volley, and asynchronous task. For example, you have a network call. You have a network call of hitting the server and get the response from the server. For example, if asynchronous task is taking 941 milliseconds, okay, meaning this dashboard means nothing but seven requests. He is calling the seven requests. He is calling in the asynchronous task. It is taking 4,539 milliseconds. It is taking. And volley API 560 milliseconds it is taking, meaning half of the asynchronous task. And if you take this retrofit means that retrofit is taking only 312, meaning volley is only taking half percent in the asynchronous task. This retrofit is even taking half percent in the volley API. So quickly we can get the data. Quickly we can get the data from the server by using this retrofit API. See nowadays all the people requirement is what quickly within fraction of seconds we have to get the response from the server. All the client requirements is this one only. Why the application is taking that much time to load the data? No application is taking a lot of time to load the data. Like these kind of comments the clients is going to give in nowadays. Okay, so quickly if you want to get the response, if you want to get quickly, if you want to get from the server, then one of the option is what retrofit is one of the uh, RESTful API. To say frankly, it's a REST API for making the network calls. Okay, so now today's session we'll see how to use this retrofit API, and we need an example. We need an example for calling this RESTful service. Okay, so in our earlier classes, we already discussed the Google Places concept. We already discussed. In our earlier classes, we discussed this Google Places concept. We already discussed. This Google Places is one of the best example for calling the RESTful service. Okay, let's see here. Earlier classes we already discussed that Google Places. If you have not understand that Google Places, just listen once again. Okay. So I want to call the Google Places server. I want to call. Let's take Google Places URL. If you type URL Google Places URL here, it's one of the best example for calling what the RESTful web service. So again here in RESTful service, you have to understand there are different types of requests are there, like get kind of request, get request, post request, get request, post request, put, delete, options, trace. Like there are different types of request types are there. In RESTful service, there are different types of request types are there, like get, post, put, delete, options, trace. Like there are different options are there. Maximum 99% you'll get a requirement of working with these two types of request, either get request or post request. You don't need to worry about this, what type of request it is, because the provider who is going to provide the web service, the provider who is going to provide the web service to you in case of industry, the provider is going to give the description also, he is going to give you post whether it is a get type of request or post type of request. Okay, you don't need to worry about that identification whether it's a get or it's a post. Okay, so now here in case of our Google Places, it's a get type of request. It is what? It's a get type of request. In this Google Places, if you see here, this is an URL https maps.googleapis.com maps/api/place/ nearby search location. This is a URL of calling the this is a URL of calling what? The nearby information. Google Places nearby information. This is a URL. This is a URL of calling what? The Google Places information. This is a URL. Google Maps apis.com /maps/api/place nearby search JSON. You have to specify what is the latitude and longitude, what is the radius, what is the type, what type of response you want to get. If you want, you can specify this keyword. Otherwise, it's not an optional parameter. You can remove this keyword. You can remove, and ampersand key is equals to what? Your API key. Your API key. Okay, so basically it's a RESTful service. It's a RESTful web service URL, and it's a get type of request. Okay, and by using this Google Places, you can find the nearby information you can find, and from the server, whatever the response type is specified here. Here, if you get specified JSON, you'll get the response in JSON. You'll get, if you specify the response in XML, if you specify from server, you'll get the response in XML format. You'll get the response from server. Okay, so what we'll do is, in our last class when you are discussing about the Google Places example, at that time we already filled all these parameters. We already filled what is the location, what is the radius, what is the type, and what is the API key. We already configured all these parameters. We already used in our Google Places example. I'll use the same URL. I'll use my desktop telephonic test 2. Google Places test is our project name. Okay, app src main java. So at that time when you're discussing about that Google Places concept, at that time we already used all these parameters. We already used. This is the API key. This is the URL. Let's copy this URL and see at the last time what we did manually. We got the response we got from the server in a JSON format. We got the response from the server. Next, manually we parsed the JSON data. Manually we parsed the JSON data. Okay. Now here, this is a URL. Okay, this is a meaning. There is no any difference between this URL and this URL. Just nothing but this is the actual data. This is my current location, latitude and longitude. I want to get nearby half kilometer information I want to get. And I want to get the bank information I want to get. And this is my server API key. So this is one best example for calling what? A RESTful web service get type of request. Now this Google Places service, Now this Google Places service, we'll see how to call by using the retrofit API. We'll see how to call this RESTful URL. We'll see how to call this RESTful URL by using what? By using a retrofit API. Okay. So let's create a project. So we'll create a project. We'll create. Let's create a new Android Studio project. Specifying the project name as Retrofit EX is a project name. I'm creating a project called what? Retrofit EX is a project name. Next, here take an empty activity. I'll tell you what exactly my requirement. My requirement is in my application, I'll create a button I'll create here. For example, I'll create get places button I'll create. Here I'll create a button called what? Get places button I'll create here. I'll create a button called what? Get places is a button. Whenever user select the get places button, whenever user select what? Get places button, my requirement is I want to hit the server I want to hit. I want to hit the Google Places server I want to hit. This request, this hitting the Google Places server, this request I want to make by using a retrofit API call. It's a retrofit call. We are making a RESTful web service call we are making, but I want to use a retrofit API I want to use for making this network call to quickly to get the data. From the server, you'll get the response you'll get from the server. In which format you'll get the response from server? In a JSON format, you'll get the response from the server. From the server, you'll get the response in a JSON format, we'll get the response from the server. Now, this JSON data, by using the JSON converter, this JSON data, whatever response we got from the server, that JSON, by using the JSON, will convert that JSON data will convert into an object format will convert. That object data will convert into what? That JSON data will convert into object format. The nearby places information will get. What you'll get? You'll get nearby a places information you will get. The places information we are presenting here. What is the place name and its vicinity? It contains a lot of other information. We'll see that. We'll see the output. We'll see once. Because before going to work with this retrofit or JSON, first of all, you had to see the JSON file. You had to see based on the JSON file. We had to create what Pojo classes. We had to create. Now here my requirement is I want to display the place name I want to display and vicinity I want to display. Vicinity means nothing but address. It contains a lot of other parameters, but I don't want to get all the parameters I don't want to get. I want to get the place name and place vicinity, meaning its address. Name and vicinity I want to display on a recycler view component I want to present. Name and vicinity, name and vicinity I want to present on a recycler view component I want to present. This is the requirement. Okay, so now we'll see how to do this one, how to make this network calls by using retrofit. But I told you, right, if you want to make a retrofit, if you want to use internally, we are going to use a JSON. But to use the JSON concept, first of all, you have to see the response of your JSON file, in which format you are getting the response. See, this is our URL. Even the RESTful service, even you can test in the browser also you can test. RESTful service, even you can test in the browser also you can test. Because you get type of request. Just specify the URL and see here, you'll get the response you'll get from the server, you'll get the response in a JSON format. We got the response we got from the server in a JSON format. This is the main JSON object. This is the main JSON object. This main JSON object contains multiple results. See, this results is an array. This is the main JSON object. This main JSON object contains what? One array it contains. What is the array name? Results is the array name. This results array contains one individual object. This is one individual object. From here to here, one individual object. From here again, it's a second record. Again, in the individual object, it contains a lot of records. But we don't require all this information. We don't require. This object contains a key called one is name is one thing we require, and one more thing is what? Vicinity we require. Meaning, first we had to create one class we had to create. In that class, we had to define these two variables we had to define. One is a name we had to define. Second thing is vicinity we had to define. Like this, we want to maintain multiple records we want to maintain. So we had to create one more class we had to create called results. In that results class, let's create a list. Let's create. Okay, this is a JSON file. We are getting the response on the server. So we understand that JSON file. We understand in this JSON file, we required only two things we required. One is a name we required. One more thing we required what? Vicinity we required. Only these two things we required. So now before going to work with this retrofit, we create a project we created, right? We create a project we created. Now let's add all the supporting library files. For working with this retrofit, JSON, what are all the supporting classes are required? Let's add the all supporting libraries. Let's add here first. App, select this open module settings. In open module settings, you can find the option called what? Dependencies, and select this library dependency. In this library dependency, just type retrofit here, because by default maybe you will not get retrofit. Okay, so you'll get some supporting libraries you'll get. Here we require this retrofit library. One is retrofit converters we required. First thing is retrofit we required, retrofit 2.2. One second. Retrofit 2.1.0. This is required first. Retrofit library we required. Library dependency. Next, again type retrofit, because multiple library we cannot import at a time. Retrofit we added. Next thing we required is retrofit converter is required. We had to add one more library file. We had to add retrofit converters. Let's add the retrofit converters. And one more thing we required, retrofit to JSON converter. Retrofit to JSON. See here, retrofit converter JSON. Converter JSON. Okay. Retrofit we added, retrofit converter we added. Next, converter JSON, and we had to add a normal JSON library also we had to add. Let's add the normal JSON file also we'll add. So we required these components we required, as well as our requirement is we want to present the data, right? So we want to present the data in a recycler view component. We want to present the data. For presenting this data, we use a component called what? Recycler view component we use. So we'll add the recycler view library file as well as card view library file also we'll add. We will add what? The recycler view library file will add recycler view, as well as we'll add the card view library also we'll add. Recycler view and card view library files also we added. Okay. Total how many library files we added? Retrofit, retrofit converter, converter to JSON, JSON, recycler view and card. So total 6 library file we are adding here. Okay. So now here, first what we'll do is we'll create the Pojo classes we'll create. First we'll get the response from the server in a JSON file. We'll get the response from the server. This response contains a multiple results objects, multiple results, and the individual result object contains a lot of other parameters like geometry, icon, ID, and all the other parameters. But we required this individual object. We required the name we required and vicinity and the place address only. These two things only we required. Let's create a class here. Let's create app Java. Now we'll create a separate package. We'll create. Let's create a new package for this one. I specified the package name as Pojo is a package name. Meaning inside this cubex.retrofit, inside this retrofit, Pojo package is there, right? We'll create a class. We'll create in this Pojo package. We'll create a class. Let's create a new Java class. Create a class name is place is a class name. Place is a class. This place class. Let's create 2 string variables. Private string. One is name, and one more thing is private string vicinity. One is name. Second thing is what? So on top of this variable, we had to add an annotation. We had to add, that is at serialized name. Because in the JSON file, this key has to match with the variable whatever is specified here. Whatever the key you are specifying in the JSON file, that key has to match with the variable name whatever is specified here. Next, at serialized name of what? Vicinity. vicinity. Name and vicinity. Now we have to generate the setter methods and getter methods. We have to generate for these two variables. We have to generate the setter methods and getter methods. Okay. So here you can find the option called code. In code, you can find the option called what? Generate setters and getters. Generate, select what? Getter and setter methods. I want to generate the getter and setter methods for these two variables I want to generate. Okay, we created Pojo class, we created for individual place we created. Like this, you'll get what? Multiple records you'll get from the server. Like this, you'll get what? Multiple records we will get from the server. So we had to create one more class we had to create. First, we create a class as place is a class name created. Next, I'm creating a class called places is a class name. Places is a class. It has to maintain the multiple records it has to maintain. So I'm creating on private variable. I'm creating private. Let's take a list or array list. Your choice. Array list of. I want to maintain the multiple records. I want to maintain array list of place. Place. So we had to add on annotation. We had to add on top of this serialized name. So this array name is there, right? We'll get the multiple records. Multiple place records we'll get like this. Okay, we are holding into one array. We are holding. What is the array name? Results is the array. This results array name we had to specify on top of this array list. At serialized name of results. Now we have to generate the setter methods and getter methods we have to generate for this places. Let's select this generate code generate setter and getter. For this places I want to generate the setter. Get places and set places. Okay. Now we created a Pojo class also we created for converting your JSON data, for converting the JSON data into the object format. We generated a Pojo class also we generated. Okay. Now let's see the retrofit part. Now for calling the REST API call, first whatever the operations you want to perform, just you have to create an interface. You have to create. Meaning you have to define what you want to perform, because I don't know whether you know or not, the purpose of this interface concept is nothing but interface doesn't contain any implementation. Interface doesn't contain what? Any implementation for the methods. Only you are going to declare the methods in the interface. Only you are going to declare what? The methods in the interface. So now here we had to create an interface we had to create. In that interface, we have to define what you want to perform. So let's see here. We'll create an interface. We'll create in our package. Let's create an interface, Java class. But here in place of this class creation, we'll select what? Interface. We want to create an interface. We want to create. I am selecting the interface name as places interface is a name I specified. What is the interface name I specified? Places interface. It's an interface. Interface contains what? Only the declaration of a method. It should not contain any implementation. It should contain what? Only the declaration of a method. So now here we'll create one method. We'll create for public, or even if you don't specify also, because interface, whatever the methods you are declaring in the interface, by default it's a public and abstract. By default it is public and abstract. Explicitly you need to specify it's a public and abstract. So my requirement is I want to call the place information. I want to call get places. This is my requirement. What is the return type of this method? We created on Pojo class. We created that is a return type. So let's specify here call, because this is mandate call, and here you have to specify in the generic type. You have to specify your Pojo classes. So we created a class. We created call what? Places is a class. This is our Pojo class. Call of what? Get place is a method. On top of this method, we have to specify whether it's a get type of request or it's a post type of request. With the annotation, you have to specify that one. It's a get type of request. By at get. In this get annotation, we have to specify the URL. We have to specify which URL we wants to call which URL you want to call, we have to specify the URL of that particular web service. URL you have to specify here. But we should not specify the entire URL. For example, here this is our web service URL, right? This URL we want to call. Now what we'll do is let's specify up to this maps part. After this API, because the entire URL you cannot specify in the GET request, because half part of the URL you have to specify in the programmatical also while you are creating the retrofit object. That's why what we are doing is after this API parameters part we are moving into. I'm removing from here. After this maps, remove from here. This logic I'm moving into this get method. Let's specify here. Even dynamical also you can send these parameters. You can send dynamical also you can send. Okay, at get which URL you want to call. Let's specify the URL. That's it. We created interface. We created this interface contains what? One abstract method. What is the method name? Get places is a method. Get places is a method. Return type of this get places is nothing but places object. Basically, you'll get the multiple places records you'll get. That's why I specified the places record. But you have to put that one into call. This call is a built-in class in retrofit. This call is a built-in class in retrofit. If you want to see what this call class is going to perform, let's click on this class. You'll get the description you'll get about this class. An invocation of a retrofit method that sends a request to a web server and returns a response. Each call yields its own HTTP request. But basically for making a network call to the specific URL, we use this call class we use. This call class contains some methods like execute is one method, okay? Enqueue is one method, execute is one method, enqueue is one method, okay? So if you want just see the description about that call method, if you want to understand more, okay? Return type of this get places method is nothing but it's a places object, okay? For making a network calls, we are putting inside the call we are putting, okay? We create interface we created. Now where just interface contains what? Interface doesn't contain any implementation, only declaration is specified in this interface. Now in the main activity class, our requirement is what? Here we want to create a button. We want to create get places is the button. Our final requirement is what? This is our requirement. Whenever user clicks the get places button, we want to hit the Google Places server. We want to hit by using a retrofit API. We want to hit that one. Okay, so here first in the XML file, here we create a button. We'll create here. First we'll create what? A button we'll create called get places. Get places. Configure the click event for this get places button. Configure the click event for this get places button. On click is equals to get. Android on click is equals to what? Get places is a method name we specified. Get places. Now where we had to define this get places method? This get places method we had to specify in the activity class. We had to specify this get places method. Let's create in the activity class public void. What is the method name? Get places is the method. Let's take the view object as a. Okay. Now in this get places button, we had to hit the Google Places server. Okay. So here, if you want to hit the Google Places server, it's a REST URL. For making a REST URL, we are going to use a class called what? Retrofit is a class. Retrofit is equals to new retrofit of. You cannot create the object for this directly. It's having a class called builder. Retrofit dot builder dot. We have to specify few parameters. We have to specify. First thing is a base URL. I told you, right? The Google retrofit will not allow you to give the entire URL. Okay. So after this maps, we specified remaining URL we specified in the interface we defined. This URL, this is a base URL, main URL. This base URL we have to specify in this here. That you can configure here. This is a base URL. Dot add converter factory. Meaning, okay, boss, we want to hit this URL, we want to hit. Meaning it's going to append, boss. After this base URL, whatever the URL is specified for your interface, it's going to append to this base URL, it's going to append. Okay. Next, add converter factory is a method here only. Do you have any converter class or using any converter or using here? Yes, we are using a converter. Which converter class we are using? JSON converter factory dot class. JSON converter factory. Okay. So first we specified a base URL is specified. Builder dot base URL converter factory. Yes, we are converting that. Response we are converting by using JSON. We are converting that response. Dot. Finally, we had to call the build method. We had to call. Okay. We'll get the object for what? Object will get. We get the object for what? Retrofit. Okay. So next we have to specify. You have to create the object for your interface. We want to call that method. We want to call in that interface. We want to call that method. What is our interface name? Places interface. Can you create an object for interface? No, we cannot create the object. Places interface is equals to your retrofit object dot. There is a method called create is a method. Create is a method. You have to specify your interface name. We have to specify interface name is nothing but what is the name? What is the name of our interface? Places interface dot class. Okay. Here we had to create the object for your places interface. For interface, you cannot create the object directly like new operator. This retrofit object dot create is a method. Okay. Place interface dot class. Now here, let's call this method places interface dot what is the method name? Get places is a method. See what is the return type of this get places method? Return type of this get places method is nothing but call of places. Return type of this get places method is nothing but it's a call of places. Meaning in the interface declaration we specify this one only. Return type of this get places method is nothing but it's a call of what? Places. Which information will get? Places information will get. Call of places is equals to I'm specifying call I'm specifying. Call is equals to patient interface dot get places method. So now here we have to execute this one. So we want to call this service we want to call here. If you want to call a service, this call object dot there is a method called enqueue is a method. What is the method name? Enqueue is a method. So if you call this enqueue method, it's going to hit the server, it's going to hit. It's going to hit that REST service, it's going to hit. See what is the input parameter for this enqueue method? Return type of this enqueue method is nothing but callback is a return type. Callback is a return type of this enqueue method. Callback is a return type of this enqueue method. So let's create the object of callback here. Let's create the object for callback. Okay. So which contains a method called onResponse, meaning once you receive the response, once you receive the response from the server, it's going to call this onResponse is going to call. Once if you are unable to get the response, it's going to call this onFailure is going to call if you are unable to get the response. So once if you receive the response, it is going to call this onResponse is going to call. In this onResponse, the second parameter if you take here, this response means nothing but you'll get the place information you'll get. Just what I'm doing is here, really if you get the place information, I want to know how many places I got here. Toast.makeText, there is a method called getApplicationContext, comma, response dot, if you call this response dot, we got the response we got after loading the data, this response object dot, there is a method called getBody is a method. Response object dot body is a method. See what is the return type of this body method? Return type of this body method is nothing but places class object. Return type of this body method is nothing but what? You'll get this places object you'll get. This places object contains a method called what? Get places is a method. It's a Pojo class. It contains a method called what? Get places is a method. This size I'm printing now. Data I'm not printing. Just initially first I'm printing what? Size I'm printing. How many records I got from the server, that size I'm printing in a toast message. That's it. What this is only the RESTful service calling. You have to create an interface. You have to create which service you want to call. You have to create an interface. You have to create, and you have to specify the sub URL. You have to specify base URL programmatically you can configure. Sub URL you have to specify here. and what type of request you are calling, whether it's a get or post type of request, and what is the return type of this method. And these two lines of logic is a retrofit calling logic. Create an object for retrofit. You have to specify your base URL. And if you are having any converter class, let's specify the converter here. Okay, so automatically this call.enqueue method, it's going to hit the server and get the response. Once you get the response, it's going to call on response method. If you are unable to get the response, on failure is going to call. Okay, we'll run the application and we'll see how many records we got first. How many records you will get, that the toast message will get, the count you will get. Once if we get the count, then we'll get the confirmation. Okay, we are getting the records we are getting from the server, we got the records. Response we got. Now later we'll see how to present the data on a recycler view component. Okay, let's run the application and see how many records you got the response from the server. Let's run the application. It's loading still. Takes some time to load. It's taking a lot of time. So finally app is installed. Finally app is installed, and once if you click on this get places button, you'll get the count you'll get. There is some mistake, we got the exception we got. Let's try to find out the exception. What is the exception? So we found the root cause. It's nothing but we have not added a permission in the manifest.xml. That is only the reason why you got the exception is we have not added a permission we had not added in the manifest.xml. That's why we got that exception we got. Okay. So now added a permission added. Now added a permission added. Now let's run the application. Let's run the app now. Okay. So once if you click on this get places button, okay, so we got the count we got, number we got 20 we got, meaning this retrofit API is working fine and we are able to get the response from the server, Google Places server. There are 20 records are available. When based on the request, whatever is specified here, we got 20 placed records we got. Okay. Okay. Now here, just for my confirmation, we are not written the logic completely. Just for our confirmation, whether we are able to get the data or not. Just we are printing the size we are printing, how many records we are getting from the server. Now this data, what are the response we got from the server? This response we want to present on a recycler view component. We want to present this response. We want to present on a recycler view component. We want to present this response. Okay. Now in your activity XML file, below of this button, I'm replacing this UI group from relative layout to linear layout. I'm replacing the UI group. We don't require this tools attribute. We don't require all these attributes. We don't require. Let's apply the orientation attribute vertical. Below this button, I want to create what? One one recycler view component I want to create. Let's create a recycler view component. Width is match parent and height also is specified as match parent. The screen width and screen height. And what is the ID? Because further we require this component into Java code. Let's configure the ID @ +ID slash recycler view one is the ID we configure. Recycler view one is the ID we configure. So change the theme attribute because preview is not displayed here. So we get a button component we created. And below of the button we created what? A recycler view component we created below of the button. Below of the button we created what? A recycler view component we created below of the button. Okay. So now here in your activity code, in your main activity, first get the recycler view component. Recycler view is equals to recycler view of find view by id r.id dot recycler view. Got the recycler view component we got. Next, recycler view, by using the recycler view component, we can present the data in a vertical or horizontal or in a grid format we can present. In which format you want to present the user interface, we had to specify here. So let's create the object for linear layout manager. In earlier classes we discussed this recycler view component we discussed. Just I'm recalling again, Okay. Linear layout manager is equals to new linear layout manager. So you have to specify three parameters. You have to specify what is the context, your activity object, this. Second parameter is the orientation, in which format you want to present. Linear layout manager dot we want to present the data in a vertical format I want to present, and it's a Boolean type always. The third parameter is a Boolean type, always it is what? False. Activity object I specified, orientation and false. So this we cannot use here. In place of this, use main activity dot this, because we are already inside a listener class. We are already inside one listener or a callback. That's why you cannot use this. We cannot use. So that's why I'm specifying main activity dot this. Now set this linear layout manager object to the recycler. Recycler view dot. There is a method called set layout manager of. Specify that layout manager object to the recycler view component. Set the layout manager object to whom? To the recycler view component. Okay. Next thing is we want to present the data, right? For presenting the data, what we have to create, in which format you wants to present, the individual user interface. For this individual user interface, we had to create an XML file. We had to create an XML file. We had to create for this user interface, and we had to create a view holder class. We had to create for presenting this XML user interface. We had to create a view holder. We had to create a class called what? View holder class. We had to create a view holder, and we had to create a recycler view adapter. We had to create. So first, what we'll do is we'll create an XML file. We'll create in which format you wants to present the user interface. For that, let's create a XML file first. In which format you wants to present. Let's create an XML file. Simple. Just I want to create two text view components. I want to create. If you want, you can take a card view, or otherwise, without card view also you can take. Specify the XML file name as individual view is the XML. Individual view is the XML file. Okay. The main UI group we got as a linear level. Main UI group, vertical orientation. Good. Now inside this linear layout, I want to create a card view component. Let's create a card view component. Width is match parent, but height I'm specifying as 80 dp, or you can specify as a wrap content. You can specify as what? Wrap content. Next thing is inside this card view component, I want to create one more linear layout. I want to create inside the card view component. Linear layout, match parent, wrap content, and orientation is what? Vertical. Now inside the linear layout, I want to create two text view components. I want to create inside this linear layout. Let's create two text view components. Width is match parent, occupy the entire screen. Height is wrap content, up to the content. And what is the text size? Text size is a 30 SPI specified. This is for title. So 30 means will get very large. I'm specifying 25 means specifying. This is for title. Okay. And what is the text you want to display? Default text. This is for what? Title. And second thing is what? We have to create one more text view component we have to create. Let's configure the ID, important one. ID is equals to here. So let's complete this one first. Match parent, wrap content, text size, and what is the text? Default text. Text style. For this I want to apply the bold property I want to apply. And for this, here you will get what? The vicinity. I mean the address will find there. Vicinity. Okay. So text style I want to display with the italic I want to display. Italic. So we have to configure the IDs. We have to configure for these components. IDs, title is the ID, and here vicinity is the ID I configure. ID and vicinity. Okay. We create a card view component we created. Inside the linear layout we created what? A card view component we created. Inside the card view only we had to create these things. Linear layout. Close the card view component. It has to show the preview, right? It's not showing the preview. The main linear layout. Okay, let's change the theme here. Theme from main app compact theme to normal theme and specific. Okay. We are presenting title and vicinity we are presenting. Text will decrease this one. It's not 15 SP is fine. Because you'll get large text, you'll get it. If you want, you can apply some color codes also. You can apply text color. For this card view, you'll apply the background, you'll apply for this card view component. Okay. So we get what? Card view component we created. We applied a background color, we applied for the card view component we applied. Okay. It's not applied. So now here, what we'll do is, okay, individual XML file we created. In which format we want to present, we created XML file we created. Next, what we had to create? We had to create a holder class. We had to create a holder class. We had to create. Let's create a holder class. New Java class. Recycler view holder. Recycler view holder class. If you want to create a holder class, extends what? Extends recycler view dot view holder class. Okay. It is going to ask you to create a constructor. We have to create a constructor. Let's create a constructor. We already discussed recycler view. Just we got a requirement of using that one. That's why I'm using here recycler view component. Okay. Now in this recycler view constructor, in the XML file, how many components are there? There are two text view components there in the XML. We had to get the two text view components we had to get here. One is a title. One more thing is what? One more thing is a vicinity. Let's get the two text view components here. Title is one thing. One more thing is what? Vicinity. Get the two UI components from the individual XML. I mean view XML file. Title is equals to text view of item view dot find view by id r dot id dot title r dot id dot title. Okay. What is specified? Type 1 is specified, right? ID is the title we configured and vicinity is a title we configured. ID we configured. r.id.title. Okay, to change the ID, we change. Maybe it's title not taken. Just T1 is a title ID I specified. What is ID I specified? T1 is ID I specified for this text to be component. So r.id.t1. Okay. Next, what is the next one? Vicinity is equals to item view dot find UID r.id dot vicinity. That's it. Okay. We got the UI components. We got into the holder class. We got the UI components. We got the UI components. We got into what? Holder class. We got the UI components. And the last thing we had to create a recycler view adapter. We had to create. Last thing we had to create the recycler view adapter class. We had to create. Let's create a class. Java class. Places adapter is a class name I specified. Places adapter extends recycler view dot extends recycler view dot adapter class. The input parameter for this recycler view dot adapter class is nothing but your view holder class. What is your view holder class name? We specified recycler view dot view holder. We specified this is our class name. Recycler view holder is a class name. This is what the class we created. Recycler view holder. Okay. So in the adapter class, if you want to create a recycler view adapter, if you want to create extends recycler view adapter, input parameter for this adapter is nothing but recycler view holder. So here we had to add one constructor we had to add in this recycler view. We had to add one constructor we had to add here. Here it's going to show an error it's showing here. Click on that error and implement the methods. It contains the three methods. We have to provide the implementation we have to provide for that. Three methods we have to provide the implementation. On create view holder, on bind view holder, and get item count. These are the three methods in the recycler view holder class. Okay. So now in this adapter class, we know that the get item count method, we have to specify how many items you want to present. So what we'll do is in your main activity class, for this recycler view component, I want to set the adapter I want to set. Recycler view adapter I want to set. Recycler view dot, there is a method called set adapter is a method. Specify the object of your adapter class name. New. What is the adapter class name we specified? Places adapter is a class. For this places adapter, we will pass two parameters. Will pass as an input for this places adapter. One is the main activity dot this. I mean the current class activity object will send as the input because we require the activity object we require in the adapter class. Recycler adapter. That's why I'm specifying main activity dot this. Comma second parameter we had to specify. Second parameter we had to specify the holder class we had to specify in the second parameter we had to specify where the data is available. I mean this response object, this places contains the data, meaning this response dot body is there, right? Okay, it contains that places object will get. This response dot get body dot get places, meaning you'll get the array list object will get as a return type. This information, this is the data. We want to present this data, we want to present. This is also I'm sending as an input parameter. Definitely it will show you an error, it will show you because nothing but there is no constructor. There is no constructor in the places adapter which is taking the activity object and your data. Just click on this error. If you click on this error, it will ask you to create a constructor. It will ask you to create a constructor in the places adapter. Let's create a constructor in the places adapter class. First parameter which is taking the activity object as input. Second parameter which will take the array list object as a input. Main activity object as input and array list object as a input. But the scope of these two variables is nothing but within this loop only we can, within this particular block only we can access. Outside the block we cannot access. That's why globally we'll declare two variables will declare globally. Globally we'll declare two variables will declare. One is the main activity object. Second thing is what? Second thing is the array list object. Array list of type you have to specify. Okay, now in the constructor we have to specify this one. This dot this dot activity is equals to main activity. I mean, we are assigning that local variable, we are assigning to the global variable, and this dot list is equals to what? This dot list is equals to, okay. So we get a constructor we created. This constructor is taking the activity object and the data. So the scope of these variables is within this block. That's why we are assigning that local variable, we are assigning to a global variable, we are assigning. To say frankly, we got the response, we got retrofit. Retrofit is already completed. Here only retrofit logic. Create the object for retrofit and call enqueue method, and it's going to hit the URL, it's going to get the response. Now we are writing all this logic we are writing for presenting the data on the UI component. Okay. So now in the recycler view adapter, okay, we specified, we got the data we got now. Array list of place object we got. Now in the getCount method, let's specify this list dot size or length. How much data is there in this array list, or how many records are there in the array list, that many items I want to present. That's what we specified in the get item count method. Next, in the onCreate view holder, this onCreate view holder is going to call only one time. Whatever the user interface he wants to present on the individual item, that view object you have to specify. See, what is the return type of this recycler? What is the return type of this onCreate view holder method? Recycler view holder object is a return type. See, if you want to create the recycler view holder object, if you want to create the recycler view holder object, if you want to create, we had to specify the view object you had to specify, because in the recycler view holder constructor, it is taking which object as input? View object. Boss, give me what is the user interface he wants to present. So what are the user interface he wants to present? Let's specify that user interface here in the view object. We already created the user interface, we already created in the XML file. What we had to do is we had to convert that XML user interface, we had to convert into view object, we had to convert. We seen a lot of times we seen in our core Android, okay, in the custom adapter class, we seen how to convert that XML user interface, how to convert into view object. By using a class called what? Layout inflator is the class. By using that layout inflator class, we can convert that XML user interface, we can convert into view object, we can convert. Okay, let's create the object for layout inflator. Let's create the object for layout inflator is equals to layout inflator dot from. Let's specify the activity object here. Layout inflator dot from, specify the activity object is the first. Okay. Next, we require the view object we require. We had to convert that XML user interface, we had to convert into view object, we had to convert. View v is equals to inflator dot inflate is a method. Specify the XML. We already created the XML file, we already created. Art dot layout dot individual view is the XML. Second parameter is a view group. Already we are getting as an input. Let's specify the parent object as an input for this. Last parameter is a boolean type. Let's make it false. Last parameter is a boolean type. Let's make it what? False. Now here, the input parameter for this recycler view holder, view object is the input parameter for this recycler view holder. Okay. Now we created an object for recycler view holder class. We created an object. Now for this recycler view holder, we'll return that recycler view holder object. Create view holder. Now we'll return that recycler view holder object. We'll return in the onCreate view holder method. Now for presenting the data, it's going to call this onBind view holder method is going to call. For presenting the data, it's going to call this onBind view holder method is going to call. In this onBind view holder method, one of the input parameter for this onBind view holder method is nothing but recycler view holder is one of the input parameter. Recycler view holder is one of the input parameter for this onBind view holder method. This recycler view holder object contains two UI components. One is title. For this title component, I want to set the title I want to set, which we got from the Google Places. Set text. We got the information we got in a array list. We got the information. This list. So first, what we had to get is we had to get the individual place object. We had to get list dot get of position. So you'll get the individual place object will get. This place object contains a method called get title is a method or get name is a method, so that you'll get the place name you'll get. And holder dot vicinity dot set text, holder dot vicinity dot set text, list dot get of position dot get vicinity. That's it. The Google Places, whatever response we got from the Google Places, that Google Places response also we are sending as an input parameter to the recycler view adapter class. Here we are sending the activity object, and that Google Places response also we are sending as a input parameter. It's an array list object. In the adapter class, we specified by using that Google Places response only, we specified how many items you want to present, and in the onBind view holder method, how many items are there in that Google Places list. That many times this group is going to be repeat. We are getting the individual record we are getting. Now let's run the application, whether it is displaying the data in a recycler view component or not. Run the application. Okay, click on this Google Places, this Get Places button. Oh, so you got the response we got, but we got the response we got from the server. We got the response, but one small change. Will do a small change. We'll do here, because from one item to another item, it's taking a lot of space. It's taking as input. Because reason is nothing but the individual VXML. Here the individual VXML, the main UI group as we taken as a match parent, we taken as a main UI group. Let's change that one from match parent to wrap content. So how much height is required for that component? Only occupy up to that much of space. That's it. Now let's run the application now. Just the main UI group for the individual XML file, I changed that from match parent to wrap content. I changed. App is installed. Click on this Get Places button. So you got all the nearby ATMs information. You got State Bank of India and its vicinity, the place name and the vicinity, place name and vicinity. Okay, this response we are getting from the Google Places server. It's a RESTful service. We are getting the response from the, meaning we are calling this Google Places server. We are calling by using a retrofit API, and we are getting the response from the server in a JSON. By using that JSON converter, we are converting that JSON response. We are converting into object format. We are converting. For presenting the data, we are using a UI component called recycler view component. We are using the individual item. We are taking a card view. That's why you'll get in a card format. You'll get. Okay. This is about the retrofit concept. It's about the retrofit. Your ultimate requirement. If you take any project, if you take in the market, the Android projects, hit the server by using a RESTful service, get the response in JSON, show the data to the user. So these three concepts, whatever we discussed, it's most important. Hit the server, RESTful service server by using a retrofit. You'll get the response from the server in a JSON format. Use a JSON converter for converting your JSON response. And for presenting the data, so this UI component we use, recycler view component we use for presenting the data. Okay. So hope you guys understand. Okay. So thank you. Thank you guys.